So one of the fun side effects of that Dominion lawsuit against Fox News is that aside from the growing amount of evidence demonstrating their complicity in the stolen election narrative, we're also getting a peek behind the scenes in order to see exactly what Fox News hosts thought about other topics. And this week, thanks to more unsealed court documents, it was revealed that actually, Tucker Carlson despises Donald Trump behind closed doors.
Tucker, the guy who wore a fucking bow tie for years on his show and is clearly cut from the neocon cloth and clearly only embraced Trumpism strategically, that Tucker doesn't like Donald Trump.
He hates him.
What?
And this is all while defending him and cozying up to him on his TV show and in public appearances. Now, while it's always fun to see this side of Tucker trotted out, we should probably start with his reframing of the January 6th insurrection through video footage that was given to him and his producers by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, check this out, libs. Yeah, so Tucker Carlson's coverage of this footage is so skewed that even members of the GOP are coming out against it. But let's just tell it like it is. Carlson received 40,000 hours of security footage from the U.S. Capitol, picked out all the most innocuous moments, and reframed the insurrection on the Capitol as nothing more than a tour of the building by patriots who were simply interested in the building, and not a mob who was instructed to travel to D.C. on the day that Biden's presidency would be certified at the behest of Donald Trump, riled up by multiple speeches, including one by the president, who insisted the election was stolen and that the crowd would have to, quote, fight like hell if they wanted to have a country anymore to themselves, claimed that he would be marching with them to the Capitol, and then stood by and watched as multiple cameras and live streams captured a violent attack on the building, Capitol Police, and an infiltration of secure areas within, resulting in multiple deaths, stolen documents, stolen equipment, and elected officials, including Vice President Mike Pence, fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
But there's two sides to every story. But yeah, this is all well documented. It happened like over 2 years ago now.
There's been investigations.
Yeah, we've gone over this. There's been no shortage of investigations, witness testimony, including testimony from officials, Capitol Police, the rioters themselves.
Also footage from the rioters themselves where they're saying exactly what they're doing. Text messages sent by people involved, people who planned things.
But hey, now that I've seen that these people weren't using 100% of their time in the building, causing wanton destruction, well, I'm changing my mind.
Yeah, it's so hard to believe that some of these people would just stand around and gawk at the building that they've never been in before and also have no idea what to do once inside.
Yeah.
But now that Tucker Carlson has 40,000 hours of security footage, he can take moments of nonviolence and reframe the entire thing as just a bit of curiosity behind the thousands of patriots who apparently did nothing wrong. All of this coming at a time where court documents are slowly being released that show once again that Fox News is a propaganda machine that even its hosts are sometimes shocked by. It's also always somehow necessary to bring up, in case you missed it in the months and years past, that Tucker Carlson's show evaded a lawsuit a few years back when lawyers for Fox News successfully argued to a U.S. district judge that no reasonable viewer should take what Tucker Carlson says seriously. And also, if you want more on the whole January 6th thing and everything that led up to it, and you like book recommendations, I recently finished one about everything that led up to January 6th and firsthand accounts from that day written by an actual war correspondent who'd previously covered the global war on terrorism. It's called The Storm Is Here by Luke Mogelson. Because look, it wasn't just one day that everyone decided to storm the Capitol. This was years in the making. It's the best book that I've read on the subject, and it encompasses so much more than just that day. But let's get back to the story at hand. Tucker Carlson's mission to rewrite the history of January 6th. A production so egregious that, like we said, even members of the GOP are upset about this and trying to correct the record.
I mean, I think most of them, aside from the real crazies, would like to please just move on.
Exactly. Yeah, and also, a few of them were there that day and literally feared for their lives.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's NPR.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, who may be dead,
We don't know, he fell.
Yeah, said Tuesday afternoon he aligned himself with remarks issued earlier Tuesday by U.S. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger to his rank and file, slamming Carlson's offensive and misleading conclusions about the siege. He held up Manger's one-page statement called Truth and Justice near the Senate chamber.
It was a mistake, in my view, for Fox News to depict this in a way that's completely at variance with what our chief law enforcement official here at the Capitol thinks.
McConnell sputtered out through his turkey-like face at reporters.
Before falling.
Earlier,
Which is not funny,
Yeah.
But
if he's actually dead by the time this video goes up,
We
I'm
are
sorry.
sorry.
But not, I mean...
he did take a spill. He's very old, and maybe it would
Yeah.
be better if very, very, very old people weren't in charge of running the country.
I mean, they're just going to replace him with someone younger and more evil. So it's like...
That didn't stop like a Trump surrogate from posting a video of a turtle falling down the stairs, though.
See, I wouldn't do that.
Animal cruelty, very funny.
That's too
according to
mean
some
for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it continues. Earlier Tuesday, Manger asked his statement be read at roll call meetings for rank and file and posted on all Capitol Police bulletin boards. In the memo, which was obtained by NPR, Manger listed out a series of falsehoods portrayed by Fox. Carlson pushed outrageous and false allegations that officers acted as tour guides. Manger refuted that characterization, saying that officers who were severely outnumbered were using de-escalation tactics to try to talk rioters into getting each other to leave the building.
This was in testimony from the officers
Yeah.
themselves, and also that
it's like-
in that book, the guy was on the scene asking officers about it, and they're just like, look, there's a mob, there's an angry mob.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the fact that that woman was shot, like it's still controversial. I wish it didn't happen, but like it's honestly, they should be praying to God, thanking him that more people weren't fucking shot, because they had the just cause to do so in a lot of these situations.
And there were officers that did try their best to hold the line. In one case, resulting in a stroke a day later after all of the actions happened.
yeah. Anyway,
The article continues. The program cherry-picked from the calmer moments outside the violent attack to push a false narrative dismissing the violence of the siege. The Fox News host claimed fallen officer Brian Sicknick's death had nothing to do with his heroic actions on January 6th. The department maintains, Manger wrote, that had Officer Sicknick not fought valiantly for hours on the day he was violently assaulted, Officer Sicknick would not have died the next day. TV commentary will not record the truth for our history books, Manger said in closing. The justice system will. The truth and justice are on our side. Earlier this month, McCarthy confirmed reports that he had allowed the release of the extensive footage to Carlson as an exclusive. In comments to reporters Tuesday evening, McCarthy said he would release the footage to all media outlets and the public, but wouldn't say when that would happen. Democrats warned it was a dangerous move to hand the tapes over to Carlson alone. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer doubled down on those concerns, speaking to reporters after McConnell's remarks. Last night, Fox News, with Speaker McCarthy as a willing, capable, and powerful accomplice, aired one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen in the entire history of cable television, Schumer said.
Okay, Chuck.
Tucker Carlson is a propagandist publicly pretending to be a newsman. And this is all while Fox News and Carlson himself are embroiled in a lawsuit that continues to shine light on their disinformation campaigns and outright lies.
So yeah, with the actual serious and dangerous news out of the way, there's your update on all that. Let's now laugh about how Tucker Carlson actually hates Donald Trump and how pathetic it is that despite his actual feelings regarding the former president and his claims of election fraud, he continues to just get down on his knees and kiss that ring and lick them boots clean. Thank you, sir. May I have another? In a conversation with his producer, Alex Pfeiffer, the two discussed what was playing out on election night, with Pfeiffer saying, on the bright side, Trump has a pretty low rate at success in his business ventures. Tucker replies, that's for sure. All of them fail. What he's good at is destroying things. He's the undisputed world champion of that. He could easily destroy us if we played it wrong. It's so obvious. A few days later, on November 10th, Pfeiffer texted, many viewers were upset tonight that we didn't cover election fraud. Carlson, yeah, probably should have. Pfeiffer, yeah, I didn't get why we didn't. Assumed it was some sort of decision not to, but it's all our viewers care about right now. Carlson, mistake. I just hate that shit. The very next day, Carlson ran a segment claiming that voter fraud happened and we can prove it, and then listed off names of supposedly dead voters that the Trump campaign provided to them directly, which, yeah, that it was bullshit.
Yeah, and so like reading these texts and then seeing the video clips of the following day's show is just insane. In another text exchange on November 10th, Pfeiffer mentioned Trump saying he would not attend Biden's inauguration, with Carlson replying, I'd heard that about the inauguration. Hard to believe. So destructive. Pfeiffer, I really hate what he is doing. Millions believe every word he says. Carlson, it's disgusting. I'm trying to look away.
Are you, though? Are you trying to look away, Tucker?
A few days later, a text exchange between Carlson, Fox executive Ron Mitchell, and producer Justin Wells went as follows. Mitchell, this press conference has gotten bananas. Carlson, I keep hearing that. So bad. I really want to ignore it. Wells, Sidney Powell and Rudy are fucking liars.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit talking in the group chat about Rudy, Sidney Powell, that whole side of things.
So as that conversation played out, Carlson attached photos of Rudy Giuliani's leaky ass head saying, "My mind is blown." His producer replies back, "He is sweating and dripping of temporary hair color. No one cares that Rudy was melting away at 1 p.m. Thought it is sad and somewhat hilarious at the same time." So they're just dunking on him behind the scenes. Poor Rudy.
Yeah.
Just
well,
with
he's
his
a clown.
leaky head.
He's a clown.
Yeah.
So weeks later, just before the insurrection on the Capitol, Tucker messaged his producer, Alex Pfeiffer, with the quote that has made the rounds all week long. Here you go. "Carlson, we are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. Pfeiffer, I want nothing more. It does feel very close. I imagine things will get nice starting around mid-February. Carlson, I hate him passionately. I blew up at Peter Navarro today in frustration. I actually like Peter, but I can't handle much more of this." January 6th rolls around, and Pfeiffer and Carlson, they have another conversation, one that would seem to refute Carlson's current claims of the insurrection being nothing more than a fun romp. Pfeiffer says, "People were enraged today because they thought Mike Pence would save the day." Carlson, "Trump has 2 weeks left. Once he's out, he becomes incalculably less powerful, even in the minds of his supporters. My view is that the most important thing we can do, maybe the only thing we can do, is try to save the things that make America worth living in. For me, that begins with the First and Second Amendments." Pfeiffer, "Agreed. I just worry in those 2 weeks' time and the time after that, he will inspire people to do even more stuff to put those rights in jeopardy." Carlson, "There's no question he will. He's a demonic force, a destroyer. But he's not going to destroy us. I've been thinking about this every day for 4 years."
Jeez.
Pfeiffer, "You're right. I don't want to let him destroy me either. The Trump anger spiral is vicious." Carlson, "That's for sure. Deadly. It almost consumed me in November when Sidney Powell attacked us. It was very difficult to regain emotional control, but I knew I had to. We've got 2 weeks left. We can do this.
Just
This
2
will
weeks.
all blow over."
Just 2 weeks to stop the surge. And just to rub a little more salt in the wound, keep in mind what Tucker Carlson is currently saying about the insurrection on the Capitol and what he says here on his broadcast the night of January 6th, after having the previous conversations with his producer. Just watch.
"When thousands of your countrymen storm the Capitol building, you don't have to like it. We don't. You can be horrified by the violence, and as we said, and we'll say it again, we are horrified. It's wrong. But if you don't bother to pause and learn a single thing from it, from your citizens storming your Capitol building, then you're a fool. You lack wisdom and you lack self-awareness. You have no place running a country. We got to this sad, chaotic day for a reason. It is not your fault. It is their fault."
So I'm beginning to think we might not be able to trust this guy.
Yeah.
But look, we are sorry about those stories and this next story, but a lot of this stuff, it's important and it's also kind of funny. We promised to throw in some movie or video game news at the end or, something for the dorks. But let's get through one more important one first. Trump is probably, almost certainly, maybe getting fucking indicted. And we agree, let's believe it when we see it. But this is a pretty big development in his ongoing legal battles, of which there are many. Anyways, here's the latest from the New York Times.
The Manhattan District Attorney's Office recently signaled to Donald J. Trump's lawyers that he could face criminal charges for his role in the payment of hush money to a porn star. The strongest indication yet that prosecutors are nearing an indictment of the former president, according to 4 people with knowledge of the matter. That's the thing they're getting him on?
Uh-huh.
Okay. The prosecutors offered Mr. Trump the chance to testify next week before the grand jury that has been hearing evidence in the potential case, the people said. Such offers almost always indicate an indictment is close. It would be unusual for the district attorney, Alvin L. Bragg, to notify a potential defendant without ultimately seeking charges against him. Any case would mark the first indictment of a former American president and could upend the 2024 presidential race in which Mr. Trump remains a leading contender. Mr. Bragg could become the first prosecutor to charge Mr. Trump, but he might not be the last. In Georgia, the Fulton County District Attorney is investigating whether Mr. Trump interfered in the 2020 election, and at the federal level, a special counsel is scrutinizing Mr. Trump's effort to overturn the election results, as well as his handling of classified documents.
Yeah, again, calm down. This dude is slippery as hell. It's that tweet of, How's he going to wiggle his way out of this one? Trump then wiggles his way easily out of this one.
Wait, the Stormy Daniels thing is still happening? Is that what this is?
That's why I do believe...
The fuck? What year is this?
This is why I believe this indictment is totally happening, because he hasn't mentioned Stormy Daniels in a very long time. And then at his CPAC speech, he went out of his way to talk specifically about Stormy Daniels and called her a horse face. So,
that horse face, who I fucked, by the way.
So it is on his mind. He had to take the dig. So that's why I do believe that this is accurate.
But, like, what's the worst that could happen to him?
I mean,
He's not going to jail.
It would be the first indictment of a former president.
Okay.
You know, it's historic in that way. But look, an indictment does not mean a conviction. Let's make that clear. So everyone calm down. Also, the Republican Party is still firmly in his corner in most cases, despite wanting to distance themselves publicly. Over in Georgia, where Trump could be brought up on charges related to election interference, quote, Republican legislators are pushing bills that would make it easier to remove local prosecutors from office, an effort that prominent Democratic prosecutors have decried as dangerous overreach. The move comes as Atlanta area prosecutor Fani Willis considers bringing charges against former President Donald Trump and his allies over 2020 election interference.
Georgia's a weird state.
It sure is. The Washington Post continues, adding that a bill passed by the Georgia House on Monday night would create a state oversight panel that could recall any of the state's elected district attorneys or solicitors general for several reasons, including willful misconduct or persistent failure to perform his or her duties. So, what a fun country, and specifically a fun state.
Yeah.
That is currently waging war on its own citizens over a protected piece of land so they can build a cop training center.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
What a weird place. Like, living in Atlanta would be such a trip.
It's so weird, too, because, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the most, at this point, not most famous, but, like, infamous character out of Georgia politics right now. But clearly, the voters in Georgia have shifted to blue in recent years, even outside of Atlanta.
But yeah, I mean, it's fucking weird. Like, Atlanta, you just feel like you're in any just like standard default American city.
The governing
then you leave like that radius, and it's just like the craziest, most like right-wing fuckers you've ever seen.
The policies that they're passing are like completely antithetical to what the voters have voted for.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
So, there's your Trump takes.
Yeah.
But let's switch gears now and get out of politics, right? Let's stick to gaming. Mm-hmm. Well, we're not going to talk about gaming.
Oh, we will talk about gaming, but not right now.
Not yet. Let's talk about someone who's finally brave enough to stand up to their legion of fans and say, enough is enough. Y'all need to take a fucking shower before you get anywhere near me. You stink. Ugh.
Ugh.
What is that smell?
He's got stink lines coming off him and everything.
Ugh. An anime voice actor and singer who is famous for roles in titles like Genshin Impact, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I don't care, has laid out some pretty sensible demands before one of her recent live concerts. Bring a backup battery for your phone, keep your valuables hidden, and take a goddamn bath, you smelly, disgusting losers, you nasty little weebs. Here's Insider with more. A Japanese voice actress and singer named Rie Takahashi recently took it upon herself to gently remind her fans about basic live concert etiquette. On February 25th, Takahashi took to Twitter to share a detailed, hand-drawn guide for anyone attending her first live concert, which took place on February 26th.
Among her tips are suggestions like bringing a power bank and carrying a small bag to keep your valuables safe. And notably, Takahashi also included tips for dealing with body odor. Near the bottom right of her infographic, the singer sketched a drawing of a person taking a bath, with her suggestion of bathing before the concert to avoid bothering others with body odor. Many of her fans were impressed by her hand-drawn infographic, and others were amused by the small detail about bathing. A Twitter user replied saying that they can't bathe due to an injury, but said they would definitely bring perfume along, to which Takahashi responded, personally, I recommend sweat wipes and dry shampoo. Some people may not like perfume.
Yeah, you're going to smell like an Egyptian pharaoh, just never bathing and just adding more perfume on top of you.
It's not a good smell.
No, it's not. So, folks, she is begging you to take care of yourself for the love of God and for the love of those around you. Please, rinse the fuck up.
Gamers rinse up.
Truly, anyone who has ever been to a gaming convention or really any other dork-adjacent setting will understand the telltale signs and smells of a fan base who somehow refuses to clean themselves before attending. We're not talking about people sweating it up once they're in there. It does get hot in those crowds. That's unavoidable. And there is an odor to that. There's also an odor to Those bathroom stalls at Comic-Con, y'all should y'all should try fiber supplements.
Eating nothing but French fries and chicken nuggets for an entire
there's a
weekend.
smell and there's a sound.
Yes.
And there's a noticeable and distinct stench when someone hasn't showered for days and might not have wiped sufficiently in addition to anything else.
Yeah, there's a difference between like a sweat smell that's like an hour old and someone who hasn't bathed for a day or two or more. It is... One of them smells like an actual corpse is walking by.
Yeah, it smells like a sewer. It's so funny. There's like the stores that sell like comics and Magic the Gathering cards and shit. A lot of them have like signs on the door saying, "We do reserve the right to kick you out if you."
You are ruining my business.
Yeah, and I've heard that in some like entry level college computer science courses, the professors will very gently include in their syllabus something to nudge their students into bathing.
Yeah, it's something the American education system should really teach bathing and taxes.
It's weird. It's like showering it feels really nice. I don't understand.
I'm always like, I turn it on, I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll get in. And once I'm in, I'm like, I'm staying in here.
God.
This is amazing.
I got my own water park here.
Just draining the reservoirs of LA County.
Yeah.
No, I try to keep it quick.
I get in and I get out. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm shaving my head.
And
that takes a while.
Switched to bar soap about a year or two ago, and I feel that it exfoliates my skin a bit better than just using body wash.
Well,
yeah.
There's a tip for all you weebs.
Also, white people wash your legs. Okay, I've seen that critique online.
Yeah, apparently white people don't wash their legs. Not me, though.
Yeah, I take very good care of these legs.
My legs are invited to the leg out.
I wear shorts in the
cookout for
summertime, and I don't want to be embarrassed. Yeah. Just like Joe Biden, I got hairy legs.
I am not invited to the cookout, but these legs, they're like, these legs look pretty clean.
Anyways, take care of yourself, people. And we're glad that, she had the guts to say it as politely as possible.
Yeah, well, using her powers for good. Her power and her influence.
But over in movie news, did you forget? We all forgot, didn't we? The Oscars are this weekend.
Oh.
And literally the only thing that I care about is the seemingly confirmed news that there will be a live performance of the song from Bollywood action film RRR, which should, by all indications, be as incredible and impressive as it is in the film itself. Other than that, no real interest. I hope that Everything Everywhere All at Once wins a bunch of stuff, despite that movie being just beaten into the ground by the movie press in recent months, to the point where even the people behind it are tired of hearing the discourse.
My experience with that movie is so bizarre, because I saw it opening weekend in Austin, not knowing anything about it. I didn't even know it was directed by the Daniels until I saw their names on screen.
Well, I knew that much, but I didn't know anything else about it. I tried to go in blind.
Nothing. Going into it, I watched it. I loved it. Come out, and then there's just been so many takes about it since then. I'm like, I missed the feeling I had after watching this movie, and just being alone with my thoughts and being like, that was a fun movie.
Yes, and it didn't really pick up until I forget what the first award show is, SAG or something.
It's been sweeping,
but just the press around this thing, and because justifiably it's getting a lot of good press and awards, but it's really brought out the worst online critics to talk about this thing.
Well, it's just like the thing with especially like Twitter critics is like, people can't just let a movie be decent.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not absolutely perfect, if it doesn't check all their boxes, like, they reflexively hate it. And it's just so exhausting. It's like, I don't have fucking time for your bullshit. Stop.
I hope RRR wins Best Song, and I hope that Everything Everywhere wins a bunch. The Daniels deserve it. It's a great film. It deserves the accolades.
I mean, hey, we interviewed those guys back when they were
They got the blessing.
Just two Daniels. We gave them the ETC nudge.
Seal of approval.
Yeah, our dying breath, we said, hey, make a really good movie. Mm-hmm. In addition to the one you just made. And they did it. Same with Oscar Isaac. Man was nobody until he met us. Look at him now.
That Goblin, he's doing great.
Yeah.
John Goblicon.
Little Dicky was just some fucking YouTuber, and he's got his own show on FX now.
But he did a song with Chris Brown, so I immediately stopped listening to him.
Oh, I don't like that.
Mike Diva, now on SNL.
Yeah.
And they're striking.
Good.
Yeah, April 1st. No joke.
Fooling.
I believe the editorial staff is striking.
I haven't watched a ton of SNL, obviously, like in years, but there's definitely been clips I've seen from it where I'm like, that's Mike Diva there.
It's obvious.
Like,
he does great work.
Suddenly the CGI production value is just like through the roof.
Yeah, the Mario Kart.
Yeah, I was like, that's got Mike Diva's
They have a
fingerprints
bunch of
all
good
over
new cast members. Sarah Squirm is very good. I haven't seen any of her live performance stuff. I heard it's disgusting.
Pretty weird, yeah.
But very good on the show.
But wait, were we talking about the Oscars?
No, just regular. Now let's switch to regular.
Oh, the Oscars are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I saw anything other than Everything Everywhere All at Once. Is Batman nominated for anything?
Probably.
It should be.
Yeah.
Best Picture, The Batman.
But in regular movie news, would it surprise anyone to hear that Disney has once again changed its mind when it comes to Star Wars?
Are we not getting 100 years of Star Wars?
No, they had to change that after Rick and Morty got canceled. They can't use the reference
yeah.
anymore. But look, this is all shocking. Wow. Also shocking, they're canceling Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movie.
I think we've had enough of women directing films.
I think they if they didn't announce this on International Women's Day, it was like the day before, just like digging it in even
That
worse.
sucks for her.
But
She'll
also,
be fine.
the follow-up headline is like, and they're letting Taika Waititi do whatever he wants. And he's going to do that, and he's putting himself in the movie.
Yeah, he's another one that people on the internet seem to have just the most deranged fucking opinions about, and I'm just like, I like the stuff he makes.
No, it's that, it really is that DJ Khaled cover, like, Cursed by Success.
Yeah. People need to just everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
They can't, even something to talk about, they can't.
Even like Pedro Pascal, like the way people talk.
The over-sexualization of Pedro Pascal is insane.
No one has anything negative to say about Pedro Pascal, which sounds great on the surface, but people get so fucking weird about it, and he's clearly uncomfortable with it.
Leave
the man alone.
There was a clip where someone from a pretty prominent news organization tried to get him to read like filthy tweets or something. Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, it is weird how horny people are for that man.
Leave Orange County's most successful actor alone.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, with more on all the Star Wars shakeups, here's Variety.
In December 2020, Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Kennedy announced that Wonder Woman helmer Patty Jenkins would direct the next Star Wars movie, the one-off adventure Rogue Squadron. But in September 2022, Disney pulled the title from its scheduled December 2023 release, and sources with knowledge of the production say it's no longer in active development at the studio. Meanwhile, Variety has learned that a possible Star Wars feature produced by Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige is also no longer in active development at Lucasfilm. When news of Feige's involvement with a Star Wars film broke in September 2019, it churned up fan speculation, since widely debunked, that he was in line to replace Kennedy as the leader of Lucasfilm.
It turns out all of the movie rumors online are complete bullshit half the time.
I mean, I don't care about any of this shit, but, like, I'm glad that he, like, can you imagine, like, Star Wars just like, well, that just happened.
See you next time.
We have a Chewbacca. Like, fuck off. Get that soy fucking shit out of my movies. I don't like it. It's not even my movies. You can make whatever you want. I'm not going to watch it, though.
That's why I like that show Shrinking. It is a realistic breath of fresh air in the comedy world, at least for me. Like, it isn't just self-referential and just, like, talking to the camera and pointing out obvious jokes.
I'm sick of banter. It's just banter out of my movies and stories. No banter in my stories.
As for Rian Johnson, the in-demand filmmaker, has made no secret that he still wants to make the Star Wars movies he first announced in 2017 before the release of his film The Last Jedi.
How many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
And Kennedy has been clear that Lucasfilm still wants him too. But Johnson's immediate priorities, continuing his Benoit Blanc movies with Daniel Craig for Netflix and season 2 of hit Peacock series Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne, will keep him occupied for the foreseeable future.
It's wild that he still wants to make another Star Wars movie.
Good. Again, I
liked it.
I think, he made the best film out of that new trilogy. I mean, it's pretty undeniable. I mean, where that stands on your top films overall in that universe, that's up to you. But at least he did something different and visually incredible. I liked that movie much better than the other two.
Yeah, some cool stuff happened in it.
It's so jarring if you watch all three of them now. It is such a oddball.
I've still never even seen the third one, so all I know is the line, somehow Palpatine returned, which I quote all the time.
You need to watch, you still need to watch Andor. It is the best Star Wars thing that has been made to this point.
I heard it's pretty good.
I know it's a bold statement.
I heard Poker Face is pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of things I need to watch.
Their coverage continues. Sources say Thor Love and Thunder filmmaker Taika Waititi continues to work on his possible Star Wars feature, and he would most likely have a part in it as well, similar in prominence to his standout role as an imaginary Adolf Hitler in his Oscar-winning 2019 feature Jojo Rabbit. And, I mean, that does sound like a pretty prominent role.
We're bringing Hitler to Star Wars.
They already implied it. They might as well just do it straightforward. While, in my opinion, Thor Love and Thunder clearly wasn't his greatest work.
Never saw it.
If you were talking about like the self-referential like banter, you would not like this.
No.
I am still curious about a Star Wars with him behind it, a full-length movie with him behind it, though I have less faith in whatever on-screen role that he has at this point in it. I mean, he's already a voice in the Star Wars canon. Are we to believe that he can be two different characters in one galaxy? God, movie news sucks.
Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks of like ETC news circa like 2015.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about it back then, and I don't care about it now.
Oh well.
Anyway, speaking of news that's as inconsequential as it is unsurprising, it's time for gaming news.
Sup, gamers? Bathe.
And would you look at that? It's all bad news because everything's getting delayed. Stupid. You thought games come out on their scheduled release dates?
You thought you were getting a game?
Grow up, you child. So first up, that Suicide Squad game that we'd all kind of forgotten about, the one that apparently looks so bad that Warner Brothers and Rocksteady have officially delayed it again.
Yeah.
I saw a screenshot of it, and it was just like the inventory screen, and I was like, nope, not interested. It had the fucking, oh God, it's the Ubisoft game. It's like every Ubisoft game, but like...
Division?
Yeah, it's got like the Division thing where it's just like, yeah, you would love this shit. It's got loot written all over it.
Inventory management?
Yeah, just like full fucking character inventory for like Harley Quinn. I'm like, where's the gear? Where's she hiding it? And it's like, gold, purple, blue, green. And it's like
I am balls deep
and
in,
it's like,
in
oh,
Destiny.
if you add this like backpack, it adds a like plus 0.2.6 success chance. I'm like, fuck that. No, Batman didn't have any of that shit. Get it out of here. I don't want it.
I wish you would get into Destiny with me. I know this is gonna be controversial. I really love Destiny 2 and the new DLC.
The only game with that kind of thing that appealed to me was Borderlands because they went like so over the top with.
There's a million guns.
Yeah, but like Division, it's just like they're all the same gun. They're just like slightly better or worse than each other.
Yeah.
And I got to spend 20 minutes after each raid, like just going through my inventory to make room. No.
Yeah.
Not interested.
The easiest tip I can give is just not caring.
Yeah.
The entire time, because no matter what gear you're getting, the next run you're gonna get something better. So yeah.
Anyway, back to games.
Suicide Squad kills Justice League.
So Suicide Squad, their most release date was in May of this year, but that's been moved all the way back to later this year, according to ethical games journalist Jason Schreier, who added, a showcase of the game during a PlayStation stream last month was poorly received by fans.
Uh-oh. But in addition to Suicide Squad getting delayed, which, who cares, a game that we're actually cautiously optimistic for has also been pushed back, which, fine. Please make this game as good and actually playable as possible. Take all the time you need.
Todd, I'm giving you my blessing.
Don't let us down, Todd.
Todd, you can take all the time you need.
The beatings will continue until the game improves, Todd. Still, yeah, it is disappointing that Starfield from Bethesda has been pushed back again, but here's the latest from Ars Technica. Bethesda's highly anticipated space exploration game Starfield is now due to release on September 6th, the publisher announced in a new trailer video Wednesday morning. The newest release date target for the game comes after the previous promise of a November 11th, 2022 release was eventually pushed back to an amorphous first half of 2023 window. Starfield's development was announced in 2018, but we had to wait until last June before we finally saw our first slice of No Man's Skyrim style gameplay. We know you've waited a long time to play something new from us, Starfield director Todd Howard says in the announcement video. Believe it or not, we're kind of the same. We miss it. Howard goes on to promise a game that will have many of the hallmarks that you'd expect from us. He's talking about bugs.
Yeah.
But it's also a very unique experience. We have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised how much we can pour. It is large. And again, I want this game to be so good, but I know that it gonna have problems, and you literally have to be more patient than the release date, because we're gonna be beta testing this thing for a couple months before the patches are fixing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully it's all worth the wait whenever it does actually hit platforms, though we think that the September 6th date is still a bit presumptuous.
Yeah.
So if it does release this year, we would bet a signed Elon dollar that it will release in November, just before the holiday season spending spree, and they'll release it unfinished because they know you're gonna fucking buy it.
It's gonna be buggy as hell.
You little piggy.
Just wait a year.
Yeah, you're gonna oink that game up and you're gonna whine, but they already got your $60.
$70.
$70.
It's the first. I believe it's the first premium priced game for Xbox.
Well, I mean,
$70 price tag.
That's inflation, and like, I don't know. At least with the I mean, they did invent horse armor. I'm trying to, like, Fallout 4 had DLC, but, like, the game...
Mostly
the base
expansions,
game was already... Like, I'd say the base game was actually a full, like, value title. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
It does put added pressure on this game to fulfill all the wants and needs of the consumer because despite it just being $10 more, it does have that big price tag on it where people will undoubtedly be very upset if anything's broken.
This is going to be the next Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
By which I mean it'll be a perfectly good game.
A perfectly fine game.
That pisses off so many people who built it up so much in their minds that they'll never be satisfied.
Exactly. But hopefully it's like, you know, obviously people still aren't happy with Cyberpunk, even though it has fixed a lot of its at least performance issues. But hopefully it turns into the thing that everyone thinks it's copying, which is No Man's Sky, which is the best redemption arc for a video game
It's wild
in the history of video games.
Yeah, they've released that on like more platforms than GTA 5.
Also, they did an update, I guess, for the PSVR 2 that is apparently incredible. I don't know, but yeah, there's that. Anyways, as you probably noticed, the creator economy hitting a rut. You know, the sponsors just aren't coming through like they used to anymore. So if you do want to support the show, we highly suggest hitting that join button below.
Or if you got commitment issues, you can press the thank button.
Thanks button.
For a one-time throw some coins at The Witcher.
But with the join button, you get a bunch of emotes. It's really fun. You get to know that you're it's like $5. And we really do appreciate all of the members. And when you visit the channel, you even pop up in the, hey, look at all of our members section.
Yeah.
Anyways, aside from that, you're doing a great job with the likes. We can't thank you enough on all these likes.
Let's go for 80,000 likes.
80,000 likes
video.
today and 50,000 comments.
Yeah.
Do the Twitter hack where you can go viral just by constantly commenting.
Yeah.
Proof positive that it works. The algorithm picks up on it. But regardless, don't even worry about becoming a member if you can't afford it or anything like that. Just a view. We're happy to have you. Leave a comment if you can. And of course, watch our most recent videos. Here's one about just a lot about Elon Musk and his managerial skills, which are lacking.
He's not good.
Yeah. He's also, his next plan is Elon cities, just like the Trump cities.
Oh,
so get ready
good.
for that. And also, Mr. Beast, he saw our video and he said, launch the 20,000 shoe giveaway.
Yeah.
We need to do some PR on this now.
We got him.
We saw Internet Today's video attacking the Feastables, and we had to give everyone in Africa shoes. So, you're welcome. Watch both those videos, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.